Hey guys, it's Vanessa with Up and Growing, and we're going to be making some macaron caramel apples. This one I did in the Patriotic, and then we have our green apple here that I'm going to add our caramel, and we're going to do that watermelon. So I'm going to show you guys how I did the actual macaron for that, and I'm going to be using my red Bose foam clay. I'm just going to condition my clay just a little bit. You guys can use an apple cutter. You can use a heart cutter. I'm going to be doing just a round cookie cutter because I feel like everybody has a round cookie cutter. You can do any size that you like. Just going to roll it out. Make sure I don't have any air bubbles in my clay. And then I'm just going to take my round cookie cutter. And we're going to take another piece and roll out a nice thin worm for our detail around our apple. And then we're going to attach this at the bottom all the way around. And then we're going to trim off the bottom to make it flat. And I'm going to go in with my chippy brush and just give it some texture. Make sure it's attached. And then at the top, I'm just going to, you can use your fingers to just shape it into an apple, but I'm going to cut it and then shape it, kind of like our apple. And then we're going to make two of those. And I'm going to go over that just to make sure it's nice and attached. I don't want these hard cut lines, so I'm just going to soften it just a little bit. Okay, so I have my top and my bottom of my apple macaron, and now I'm going to use my white foam clay for my center, for my filling. And I'm going to roll it out, and I'm going to cut it with the same cutter that I used for my circles. I'm going to flip this over. Just want to size it up, and that looks good. If you want it to be bigger, you can just roll it out a little bit. I'm going to add some super glue here. Before I add my center, and I'm going to add one of these small wooden popsicle sticks. They are from the Dollar Tree. They are the minis. And then I'm going to lay that right there. I'm going to stretch my clay just a little bit to bring it around to the outside. And I'm going to cut this piece off. And then add my top. And then I'm going to go around with my chippy brush and close everything off. Line everything up. So I'm going to reshape that filling. Now I'm going to go with a size smaller. This is the size that I use to cut my circles for my apple. I'm going to go with a size smaller, and we're going to cut out a caramel color for our base, so it looks like it's all dripped. You can use any color. I'm going to be using the cookie color that I use for all my cookie bases. It is just the Bose brown and white. And you can purchase the Bose foam clay on Amazon. And we have our cute little apple. So for this one, it is just the green and yellow. That is what I use to get that nice granny apple green. And this is the color we will be using for our base. If you're not going to be using a caramel color, you can use any color as long as you're covering it. I'm going to be using the caramel whipped glue, so I just went with a similar color clay. And then you want to make sure that everything on the bottom of your apple is nice and flat. And I'm going to put that down in the center. I'm going to let this dry. Just like that. It's just going to sit just like that. This one is dry enough. If you guys want to use your caulk, paint, and Mod Podge mixture, you can totally do that. You want this dry. I'm going to be using the whipped glue. This is the caramel color. It is in my Etsy shop. I will be putting the link in the comments below of the video here on Facebook. And I'm going to do this one watermelon. This one is done with Patriotic. And then I'm just going to go around. I did cut a small hole here in the bag. And I'm just going to apply my whipped glue all over this base. You can go straight line. I want it a little whimsy. And then I'm going to take another one of these small popsicle sticks and just smooth out that whipped glue where I want it. Just going back and forth with it. I am going to cover all that clay on the bottom. And I have my apple covered with the whipped glue. This will dry a little darker, so it will be more of a caramel color. And then I just made a messy bow with some fun watermelon colors. And I'm going to attach that right to the top of a popsicle stick. And then I'm going to add some watermelon sprinkles. You guys can do these s'mores, lemon, just plain caramel. And then we have our watermelon caramel apple. Just want to add a couple more sprinkles. I'm going to bring some to the side and to the back. I did add some black rhinestones to this watermelon mix for some seeds. So I'm just going in and picking those out of my mix to add just a couple. So that's what the watermelon looks like. Here's the patriotic one. And when this dries, I will probably do a s'mores. Just make sure your clay is dry, okay guys? I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial.